Welcome back, Kevin's Mobile Repair. We have us a Buick Enclave with the 3.6 motor, and we have us a coolant leak. So I did an inspection on this vehicle yesterday. The coolant hoses, these are the new ones. Coolant hose on this one broke off right here at this T connector. So they are plastic, they get brittle over time, and they snap. They also like to leak at this T connector. This is also plastic, but this is an upgraded metal one. So, I'll show you. Took off our air breather here, hose clamp here, disconnect your PCV hose, pull it off, all this room. So here's one. I think this is going to be the outlet hose. I can never remember which one's which, but see that metal clamp right there? That's a factory style clamp. The new ones, they have normal hose clamps on, so if whatever chance you need to replace that plastic T connector, you can do so without having to replace the whole rubber hose, because the hose clamp will come off and you can replace just those T connectors. But that wouldn't work in this situation here because those are factory clamps, so you will have to literally cut the clamp off and the hose will be shortened. So it's just better to get whole new assemblies. Plus you also do replace the plastic T connectors like I showed you. Those are also a source of leak. Yes, so you can replace just one hose assembly, but I recommend replacing both, because if one is weak, that means the other one will be weak just as well. So here is our main culprit. It come apart, just snapped right off at the bottom. The only repair for that is to cut that clamp off and put the hose back on. But like I said, shorten the hose when you do so. So we were replacing both inlet and outlet heater hose assemblies. There are aftermarket ones, there are GM ones still available, but if you do get one, I would recommend, if they have it, getting the metal upgrade for the T, because like I said, that T is plastic and that T will eventually do the exact same thing as what happens here. The brittle plastic from hot cold will eventually do the exact same. I would show you this procedure, but from where everything is at, I'm not even going to be able to physically see the stuff myself. It's just going to be all by hand. The front two you can see, but when you start hugging the engine, all my hands are going to be back there and I'm not going to be able to see a single thing, and you won't be as well. But when I get down to taking these off, I'll show you a couple of tips and tricks to make your life a little bit easier, because these old ones do not like to come off very easily. But I will show you what you can do to make your life a lot less difficult when doing so. So I'm going to start tearing this apart. When I have these old ones out, I'll show you what I did in order to make this process much easier. I believe I have another video doing this exact same thing, but this is my current project. So I will be back once I get those hoses off. Okay, here we go. So here's one of the tricks. So the hoses are in the way. You can get to these front two clamps without that big of a problem, because you can reach in there. That's not that big of a deal. The back ones are the pain in the butt, and same thing with the firewall. With the hoses being in the way, you have no room. So what I do is I cut the hoses, and then I remove the clamp and remove the clips. See how I have them? I just cut them. I got all kinds of room. I can get a tool in there, take the clamp off. Now the hoses are usually partially welded, heat welded onto the heater hoses. So got two ways to do it. I use a straight pick to go in from the inside and release it that way and pull it off. You can also use a spark plug wire puller to go on there and rotate it around to bust it free as well. If neither one of those two work, you can get another razor blade, sharp one possible, and right down the side, and it will come off. That'll be the two for the heater hoses there. You don't want to get a pair of pliers on it, because if you crush it, you'll be crushing the actual heater hose itself, the metal part that the hoses sit on. That's bad. Get the two in the back. Gonna be the same kind of issue. Kind of hard to get in there, but when the hoses are removed, you can get your hands back in this way and one through the other side of the engine. Squeeze the connectors and pop them off. If they don't come off, what you do, I'll show you on the new one. Actually, I can show you on an old one. So right here is where you want to cut. If you do, get a pair of side cutters, cut right there, and because there's no hose here, you're able to rotate that one piece all the way around. You can cut another piece right here. What this will do is this will release the clip from the inside, because the clips that you squeeze go right in here, these little boogers. So all in essence you're doing is squeezing that to reduce the diameter to go past this. But since it's been on there so long, sometimes they don't want to do so. So you'll be sitting there fighting with it, and if it doesn't come off after the first couple tries, you can't really get a tool back in there either. Sometimes you can if you can be creative, but the quickest and easiest way I do, cut these little corners with a pair of side cutters, rotate it around, cut, and it will pull right off. And then this piece will remain on there. You can get a pick, and from the inside or from the outside, this little tab right here, lift up that way, lift this one up that way, and then this piece will come off, because the new ones usually come with those little inserts as well. So they'll just go click click right on, you'll be ready to roll. So that's little tips for that part. So I've got the hose clamps off. The hose clamps are also kind of fun. You can use this tool. The hose clamps are facing in that direction. You rotate them around so you can get to them on the driver's side, because they're facing on the passenger side. You can use a pair of long needle nose, grip them, rotate them, and then you can get more access. I would also suggest using PB Blaster, WD-40, spray back in the back. That will loosen the clamp up, and it will also loosen it up from the rubber, so you have less resistance. So rotate it so it's facing this way. You have a lot more room in this direction to get a tool. Either that tool, pair of pliers, or the correct tool would be one of these, because these factory hose clamps work best with that. But even that, I can't get that tool on the passenger side because the motor's in the way. There's not a straight shot. There's some other variances of this. One with a like a right angle twist. You'd be able to get to it that way, because you'd be able to come in from this side and it would go around the hose and go that way. I just lazy. I didn't want to go get it. Plus my kit is not with me, so I'm making do with what I got. But so multiple different ways of getting that off, depending upon what you have. You don't need to go spend the money on this if you don't do this kind of stuff on a daily. But so we're going to pull off the rubber hoses there. We're going to take those quick disconnects off. If they don't come off, I'll be snipping them and then pulling them off that way. Easiest way to remember, same thing here. The bottom hose is the bottom hose on the heater core side, and it's also the bottom hose on the tube that you see, the two tubes right there. And it's also the furthest one back, not the furthest one back on the motor. The longer one, upper hose on the tube, and furthest front, so that way you can't mix them up. But so we're going to yank those off, get those, and then put everything back in, and top off our coolant. Got a little burping tool. This will get the air out of the system. A couple of different companies make these. Lyle's a good one, but about anybody will work if you do that kind of stuff. It's a lazy man tool. I put it on top of the radiator. I let the coolant fill up. I walk away, clean up my tools, air bubbles burp out. You don't have to sit there and babysit it to keep it from overflowing. You don't have to let it do anything. You just keep an eye on it every once in a while, because as the coolant gets hot, it will rise up, air bubbles will burp, and it'll go back down. If you got a big bubble in there though, it'll blow out, and then you got a big mess, but you got to top the coolant back off. But I love that tool. It saves me so much time. But that's what we got for today. I want to finish taking those off and then put everything back in. Putting it back in is real easy. It's just clip, hose clamp, and then away you roll. But the fun part, of course, is getting everything off. But any questions or comments, feel free to let me know.